We followed the Pied Piper of Hamsteak to the gates of oblivion, and look what it's brought us!
Hi, welcome back to literally just my thoughts with me and my little stressed bear today. And we are watching top 10 TV shows we shouldn't have been watching as kids. There's a lot of stuff we shouldn't have been watching and listening to as kids. Like, one of my favorite songs to this day is My Neck, My Back by Kia. If you know what I mean, you know what I mean. Do it now, lick it good. Anywho, let's watch the video. They start with Courage the Cowardly Dog. I didn't really grow up on it, but I definitely watched it.
You must be exhausted, Fred dear. Would you like to freshen up?
Yeah.
Oh, Freaky Fred.
Been quite a trip, it has.
Welcome to Ms. Mojo. And today
Hi,
we're
Rebecca.
counting down our picks for the top 10 TV shows we shouldn't have been watching as kids. Number 10, Jerry Springer. Say it with us now.
Jerry.
If you don't remember
I remember watching Jerry Springer when they used to let them fight for real, and where you were seeing titty tatas.
Jerry Springer's name along with the studio audience as a child,
Imagine
you
being
had
a security
much
guard getting beat the fuck up every day.
more wholesome upbringing than we did. His talk show was the definition of trash TV, always ripe for fights, parent reveals, and other drama.
I don't know if my baby is AJ's or David's.
But
react to
America
Jerry
just
Springer
couldn't
next.
get enough. This isn't one of those kid shows we later realized was disguising some pretty
It's
dirty
not a kid
jokes.
show.
Oh no. This is just one of those shows that your mom had on, which meant that you had to watch it too. And it never tried to hide its lewdness.
Go back and get an education.
I like that the audience was able to speak their mind for sure.
Put your teeth back in your mouth and I'll understand you.
Seriously, Springer coming down a stripper pole is an image we'll
I still
never
want to do that
forget.
to this day.
Number 9, Beavis and Butthead.
Beavis.
With their iconic voices and even more iconic laughs.
I definitely remember liking the cartoon style and like their personalities. I like their like let's fuck shit up attitude.
Staple in the household of any 90s kid.
Are you gonna laugh for the rest of your lives every time someone says the name Butt Kiss?
But
Maybe.
while their dumb humor often made us laugh, a lot of the show went right over our heads. Beavis and Butthead followed the antics of two teenagers who did not care about anything but themselves and
Exactly.
rock and roll. Yet behind all that adolescent indifference,
Big-head ass
the
boys.
writers were hiding some pretty clever social commentary. Still, as kids, did we care about or even understand what Beavis and Butthead had to say about society? Did we care that watching the show was like looking into a mirror?
I loved when they did that. Put the shirts on their head. I loved when they did that.
My bunghole is sticking out.
Absolutely not. We just wanted some laughs. Grown up believing in conspiracy
Never watched
theories,
the X-Files.
distrusting the government, and also
but
believing
conspiracy theories just piqued my interest.
aliens definitely exist, you can thank the X-Files.
Do you believe in the existence of extraterrestrials?
I believe in the existence of
Logically, I would have to say no.
This beloved 90s pop culture
Logically, you'd actually have to say yes, Miss Ma'am. Bro, there is no way that you can look at humans or anything else existing on this planet or in the planet's waters. There is no way you can say that more does not exist. The fact that we don't even understand our earth that is around us. We don't understand our bodies. The average person has no fucking clue about anything. And the above average people still only have a clue about this much. So to completely exclude the possibility of it being more is just real crazy to me, and it's actually quite illogical.
taught a generation of kids to question everything. Definitely did not understand the high level of espionage and cover-ups that were happening at the time.
Sometimes the only sane response to an insane world is insanity.
But watching Mulder and Scully solve mysteries was still
Bro,
the
I'm
highlight
gonna start watching this. Y'all let me know in the comments if y'all watch this show and if it's a good one.
of most of our weeks. And if there's one thing we did understand, it's that they were the epitome of true love.
Yeah, kiss her jawline. Kiss her.
You can back up a little bit.
Okay.
Number 7, Jackass. The true meaning of friendship.
I watched
Performing
Jackass.
death-defying stunts together.
And every time I saw them do anything, I was like, absolutely not. Fuck no. But I'll watch y'all do it. You know a show I really wanted to do? It was on MTV and it's called Silent Library.
This is not a game show. This is Silent Library.
I think there might still be episodes coming out. I don't know. I don't watch MTV. However, Silent Library always wanted to do that show. Always.
Johnny Knoxville, welcome to Jackass.
Names like Johnny Knoxville, Steve-O, and Wee Man will forever mean the world to those of us who grew up in the early 2000s. But just because we've come to love these wild guys and their exploits, that doesn't mean that watching Jackass was the best thing we could have done for our young minds.
Absolutely not. See, this is stupid. This is so
no matter
stupid.
how many times the show warned us that these pranks were best
Oh.
not tried at home, a brave few among us could not be stopped. After a few broken bones and a few severely crushed egos, we've all hopefully learned to leave it to the professionals.
Oh! Now I gotta react to Jackass. It's cool when people don't mind throwing their bodies around. I actually greatly admire people who aren't afraid to have a broken bone, because I'm like utterly terrified. No, thank you. I don't want to have no surgery. I don't want to have no extra items in my body to keep this shit together. Like, I'm not trying to do none of that.
6. Rocko's Modern Life.
Didn't watch
Back in
it.
the early 90s,
I've always saw the
Nickelodeon had a
cartoon
real
on
thing
them.
for quirky animated shows about animals. Chock
kangaroo.
full of dirty jokes no kid could ever understand. We almost went with the Ren and
Which makes it quite a bit inappropriate. There shouldn't be any underlying sinisterness or any underlying sexuality. Like, there should be no underlying. There should be no underlying. That's that weirdo creep stuff, okay? See said documentary and That Surprise Witness and BJ Investigates and Sloan and all these other YouTubers. That shit weird. Just like with these music artists, they be having the kids all in the videos, toting guns, throwing up gang signs, catching a little twerk. Absolutely not.
We've got another little creature in mind. Rocko's Modern Life has become notorious for being one of the most inappropriate kid shows to ever grace our screen.
I think that people just confuse cartoon or animated entertainment with kid shows. I've seen some animated and cartoon stuff that has nothing to do with anything child appropriate.
Ah, you can't fool me. I can smell a beaver from 30 miles away.
It did feature some smart social satire, but for the most part, low-hanging fruit is what it chose to shoot for. With sexual jokes out the wazoo, there's no way we should have been watching this show as young as we were.
Oh baby, oh
Remember,
baby,
be
oh
hot,
baby.
be naughty, be courteous.
Rocco. Mrs. Bighead?
Number 5, Family Guy. A lot of the
Love
cartoons we
Family
watched
Guy.
growing up might have been inappropriate, but at least they were marketed towards children.
I squandered my munitions budget on that insipid Rugrats video.
Family Guy, on the other hand, is decidedly adult.
I need
sure.
it because I think I might be pregnant.
What?
No.
My God, are you sure it's yours?
Now, some of us probably came to this animated show in our later childhood years, but that doesn't mean we were old enough to completely get it.
What the hell was that?
Yet watching
I don't know,
Family
Peter.
Guy as a
What
young
was it,
preteen
Peter?
was almost like a
What was
rite
it,
of passage.
Peter?
Still, we didn't grasp the critique of American culture that's taking place, or most of the more meta
the
jokes
best.
that Brian and Stewie are making.
Oh my God, what's with Meg's
They're like
voice?
Rick and Morty.
Thankfully, it taught us to look for that kind of searing commentary later on, and it's pretty funny too. Number 4, Unsolved Mysteries.
A young housewife who disappeared. A local
The
hero.
show reminds me of America's Most Wanted. That's the show I definitely watched. Cheaters, Maury, Steve Wilkos. Yeah, never watched Dr. Phil though. That shit, I don't like Dr. Phil.
While it might feel like we've been experiencing a true crime popularity bump for the past few years, any 80s or 90s kid can tell you that we've had that fever for much longer.
For sure.
Unsolved Mysteries started in 1987, and though it has aired in fits and starts over the years, it still manages to freak kids out. The
I
show
like
is
the
responsible
Twilight
for
Zone
turning a
in
generation of
black and
children
white.
into aspiring private eyes.
There was not a single clue to the strange disappearance and death of Kimberly Pandelios.
It's also definitely the reason so many of us can churn out facts about random cold cases from 50 years ago. While we have fond memories of Unsolved Mysteries, we can admit that the show was far too realistic and brutal for our young psyches to handle.
Join me for these intriguing and fascinating cases of tonight's edition.
How you ain't moving your lip? It's like your teeth are just closed and you can't move your lips. Why you talking like this?
Unsolved
Walking
Mysteries.
up all on me. Girl.
You afraid of the dark?
Haven't
When
seen
you
that.
were little, what were the sounds that went bump in the night that made you scared to get out of bed?
This is a warning to all who join us. You're going to leave the comfort of the light and step into the world of the supernatural.
What are the stories that still haunt you to this day? Well, we bet that a majority
None
of
of
those
them.
tales come
Haven't
from
heard
Are
any
You
of them.
Afraid of the Dark? This Nickelodeon horror series does not have quite the leeway that something like Tales from the Crypt did, but that almost makes it scarier.
Tell me that wasn't the best.
It had to be innovative in the ways it chose to scare us. And boy,
Okay,
did it
cool
scare
point.
us. The show is centered around a group of kids who tell the audience different terrifying stories every week.
Submitted
That's
for
a
the
cool
approval
idea.
of the Midnight Society. I call this story
Oh, what's he doing?
Tale of a Dead Man's Float.
Number 1, South Park. This animated show encompasses so much of what we've discussed throughout this list. Are there dirty jokes? Is it
Rancid
high concept
show.
material?
Very funny. I love the intro song.
Check yes on each of those boxes because South Park has it all.
I'm a cop, and you will respect my authority.
For most of us, watching this series introduced us to satire and humor in a way we hadn't seen before. Much like Family Guy, we started watching way before we actually understood what was going on. By the same token, we couldn't appreciate the social commentary,
Exactly. No blood for
caricature,
oil. No
irony,
blood
and
for
all
oil.
sorts of other devices that are baked into each episode.
Cartman? Cartman saved the day? Can't be.
It's only when you revisit it in later years that you appreciate everything it's doing. It's no wonder the show is still so popular.
Oh my god, they killed Kenny! You!
Kill Kenny. Watch what your children watching. Listen to what your children listening to. It's our duty as adults who know better and who can recognize things that are inappropriate for children to make sure we monitor that. So whatever your children are interested in, you need to be interested in it as well. We need to monitor what's going on. They kids, check that phone. Check that browser history. It's like a whole outro. And it has such motivational, inspiring words at the end. And it's gone. So please like and subscribe to my channel. Please. For all my hard work. I'm sweating. Anyways.